Hello, everybody. This is our second attempt at episode 47 of the Ladies Wot Pod. Okay, it's a Sunday evening. I am Claire Jones, and I live north of Cambridge on the edge of the Fens. And normally I wear a red hat and have a camera stuck to my face, but not tonight. And you are Liz?
I am Liz Saunders, and I live in South Northamptonshire, and I don't have a camera stuck to my face. I'm usually mooching about being a halo and just being very loud, mainly. That is my job, to be loud. And I am chairman of the Saints Supporters Club.
Indeed, indeed. So let's start our review of the week with talking about Remembrance. It is obviously Remembrance Sunday today, but yesterday Saints held their annual Remembrance event on the match nearest to Remembrance Sunday. And I thought you did very well, Liz. You laid your wreath beautifully.
Thank you very much. I was slightly concerned that I might fall over my own feet, but I didn't. That was my main concern, that either I'd fall over or my wreath would sort of roll off somewhere, but it all went perfectly. And I thought it was very, very moving, and I felt very honoured to be there. So it was, yeah, it was a beautiful event. It, moving and honoured. I thought the lady cornet player, because it wasn't a bugle, did it fantastically well. Beautiful notes, clear as a bell. I think it helps that it's a cornet, not a bugle. I think bugle, you have to do it all with your embouchure, whereas with a cornet, you've got notes to help you.
Well, she did a beautiful job. She did a beautiful job, as did Jez. She did. Jez Safford.
I can't remember her name.
But no, I can't. No, she's terrible. Yeah. Jez Safford did a fantastic job, including the epitaph, wonderfully done, and of course, Master of Ceremonies, Pete Nuttall, our dear friend, great job. So yes, it was a beautiful ceremony. In the press room beforehand, there were predictions that people would start applauding after the last post. Nobody did. It's apparently the mistake that everybody makes. Oh. It's what happened at Twickenham. But it didn't happen at the Gardens. The Gardens got it spot on. So there you go. Well done, the Gardens.
Well, we're more used to it. And Jeff Allen was missed.
Indeed.
So
unable to join us, but
circumstances. Yeah. So hopefully he'll be back next year. But.
Indeed. So, and then on to the game itself. So it was Nottingham who came in a rather fetching purple kit. Yes, they gave us a game.
They certainly did. They came to play. They played some scintillating rugby. I wonder if we've got our eye on their very speedy winger, who I thought was impressive. Yeah, they were
some good stuff. I thought they were feisty. They were they're very physical in the first half. And it's interesting because the track that they play on isn't really a track. It's a field.
Oh, okay.
So they must have loved playing on the surface of Franklin's Gardens, because Lady Bay ain't that. No.
I thought they played really well, and they were obviously up for it. I thought our naivety showed. I felt there was a lot of young rabbits in headlights going on, and overplaying, overthinking, not going through the processes that we know. Go through the processes and it will work. They were trying to force things, and it was a bit of a mess. And I should imagine Lee Radford was chewing the woodwork by half time.
Yes. So yes, but so Matt Arden, who's of course a former Saint, was their fly half. He did very well, and James Cherry was playing number 8. And James briefly played for the Saints at the beginning of last year. in the Barbarians game, and I think a couple of Premiership Rugby Cup games. So it was nice. It was nice to see them back at the Gardens. So yeah, it was. I think you're right. I think they would have learnt loads from that game. Absolutely loads. But so we went in at half time, 5-26 down. Yes,
I wasn't worried. I actually was not worried.
I was more. I think Dan Jones was the referee. Now we've seen Dan quite a lot in the Championship. I know. I've seen him. So he's a young referee. He's coming through. I think we've also seen him in the PWR, and he was trying to let the game flow. And I don't think the players were helping him a great deal on either side. I think it was all a bit messy and a bit frenetic, and and I think he could have actually helped the game a little bit by sorting them out. But I don't think we can blame the referee for the rabbit in headlights of Saints, but it didn't help the flow.
No. I think we can.
By trying to let it flow, it didn't let it flow. Yeah.
Yes, it didn't. I did the sums because now I feel Anna Litchfield has just set me this task. She hasn't, but I've taken it upon myself. I did the sums, and our backs. I mean, this is just ludicrous. The average age of the starting backs was 20 years, 0.55, so 20 and a half. And that was only dragged up because Charlie Savali, old man at 24.
I was going to say Charlie Savala was the reason that it went up half a year.
Yeah. So and the forwards, well, they were quite ancient, really. 24.6.
And that's only because you had Will Spencer and Gavin Thornbury.
Exactly. I mean, just crazy. So in the forwards, so the ages were 23, 20, 23, 32, 31, 22, 27 and 19. And it and all the replacements were below 30. So that's it's just crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy. And we had 4 debutants, all of whom had. Yeah. So Archie Benson, I was really impressed when he came on because he was swapped. Yes. He swapped with Ruben Logan, who had a good game, worked really hard. Yeah. I mean, again, as a teenager, he will have learnt loads. But Archie came on and he brought a real energy to the back row. I thought he was very, very good. I don't know whether he was swapping actually into the second row as well. Billy Pascoe came on and got stuck in. Rafe started, and I think Rafe suddenly realised, like, oh, this is a bit different. So I think it's going to take him a little longer to settle in. But in the same way we always say it, these lads are talented. They'll come good. And and young Toby Cousins, who scored on his debut. Well done him. Yeah. Brilliant try.
But he had some good play. He had some good plays as well. He was
yeah. So I think all 4 debutants will have learnt loads. A little shout out for Ollie Scholar, who was on the bench but didn't come on. So he's 18. He is 18. He's a prop. He's 18 against quite a gnarly Championship side. Actually, I understand he was gutted that he didn't get on, but it could have been worse if he'd have been thrown to the Lions and they'd have mangled him and set him back. Certainly the top 2 inches several years. Much. So Luke Green played the full game, and well done to Luke. But I think it was absolutely the right call. And Ollie is a very talented lad. I know Fergs has high hopes for him, so I don't think he need worry on that score. But it must have been gutting for him.
Tom West, talking of props who did come on. Tom West galloping up the wing with a grin from ear to ear. So lovely to see.
And I was really pleased because I was sat on my little fishing
and a legend that is Ed Prowse.
And absolutely. But going back to Tom West for a second, I was sat in my little fishing stall next to Fergs and Tom Bullock as Mr. West shot past us.
Yes.
And I got the whole thing. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yes, Ed, the legend that is Ed Prowse, looked like he was having fun. He was just having. It was either lifting things in the air. Yeah. We know that Ed is good at lifting because of his Blackiston escapades, or he was just running around, being a Dino in midfield, carrying the ball, and he just looked like he was having fun. So well done to Ed. Absolutely. We do need to pick the Ladies Wot Pod man of the match, and I think we're going to mention quite a few folks. So I've already mentioned Archie because I thought he really added something when he came on. But the man that we keep mentioning over and over and over again is Gavin Thornbury.
Yes, yeah. I can't get over how well he's come in and fitted in as if he's been with us forever. He just is such a presence and such a calming presence. So good, just so good. You know, he's I think I don't know where did we find him? Where was he lurking around that he needed somewhere to
Connaught, isn't he? Blaze? I think he's a Connaught. Yeah, he's a Connaught man. But either way, he's a little diamond. He's a little diamond.
Absolutely. So as we're talking about it, and he's actually a really good replacement for Mooney. He offers that same impetus and energy levels. Yeah.
And I think he's proved, obviously with the Maker and Tom Lockett out, and it was good to see Tom running around. More of Tom shortly. I ought to write that down so I don't forget.
Oh yes, don't forget what Tom's special role. Yeah,
Tom's special role. We'll do that in a minute. So I think Gavin Thornbury, absolutely. Archie Benson, we've talked about. Yeah, and you wanted to shout out to Finn Brown.
Finn Brown. I am so impressed with that young man. Absolutely. He's I keep thinking when he came on, when he was playing last week, I think it was Josh Kellaway. Not Kellaway, other Australian, beginning with K. I keep getting them mixed up. Oh my goodness me, this old age. Anyway, I keep thinking he's him, and then I realise he isn't.
I think
but he's Kemeny. That's the word I want. Yeah. More about Kellaway later. But Kemeny. So yes, I just think he's just showing such immense promise, so much ability there. And he's 22, so young. So a real shout out to him.
Yeah, no, he's
having, because he should have started one of the pre-seasons, didn't he? But they dropped him in training. I mean, literally dropped him, not dropped him.
They dropped him.
Dropped him.
I had to go and run around with the backs for a week, which I thought was some cruel punishment. If we've injured you as a forward pack, and now we're going to send you to go run around with the backs.
And now
it's a bit harsh. Yeah,
harsh. So who are we going with? I think young Mr. Thornbury. I think deserves the player of the match.
Yeah, I think Gavin Thornbury rightly is the player of the match. He really put it about and was the steal that we needed. But I think honourable mentions to our dear friend Archie Benson, because to have such an impact so quickly when you come on is remarkable. And then the other one is Tom West, because it's actually quite scary watching him run around. The smile on his face, and I'm really pleased that he's enjoying his time, because he clearly is. You can tell by his body language. He was having a fine old time. So well done, and Tom, and actually well done to all.
He's another one you feel has
getting us back into the lead. We won the game. The record,
absolutely.
So. And well done. I mean, this is not
hats off
in any way. Well done to Nottingham Rugby. for giving us a really good
Oh,
game.
good Lord, yeah.
Loads of entertainment. I mean, we want rugby to be entertaining. They played it. And they're quite a different Nottingham from when I last saw them. This is a very different brand of rugby.
Oh, really?
They're playing, and it's it's great. And more of the same, please. I could actually go and see.
Yeah,
them.
it was
We could go and see them at Lady Bay at the end of the month. They're playing Bedford.
Could you?
Playing Bedford on a Friday night.
Oh.
It's like you can only do so many Friday nights at Lady Bay in a season. So Sherpa 2, don't get your hopes up. Anyway, right. So, outstanding engagement with the referee.
Getting back to Tom West. Can I just get back to Tom West?
So Tom West.
I just feel he's another of the players who's come into the club and thrown himself in completely, embraced everything about the club. It adds to my theory about waifs and strays, you see, doesn't he? He's just gone like, oh, this family have rescued me and I will return this family's rescuing with lots of love and affection and loyalty. That's what I think.
I think you could be right. There is Ruben's mum, the rival pod that Ruben's mum does. I'm keeping this line.
I bet she's quaking in her boots.
Yeah. It's when she appears on the Ladies Wot and knows she's really got some arrivals even. So Ruben's mum's pod with Mr. Mark Chapman, who's a lovely chap. I've met Mark. Very tall. Yeah. He did the final in 2014 for Radio 5 Live.
Okay.
Anyway, they were having a conversation with young Danny Kerr because, of course, Danny's on his world tour of talking about his book. And the question that they asked this week was, does a culture have to be toxic to win, or something along that line? Yeah, does it have to be a toxic culture in order to win? And I nearly wrote her a message saying, well, I think your son's team has kind of proved no, it doesn't.
Not.
Who are the Premiership champions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who universally are congratulated for their culture by, the media, the ones that take notice of us, the media, the fans, and actually the players themselves. So, if ever you wanted an example of a positive culture being a winning culture, I think Northampton Saints is. Yeah.
Definitely.
I owe Ruben himself an apology.
Definitely.
Because,
oh dear, why? What did you do?
Well, I got the debutants together for the photo and I went, Ruben, you need to have your photo taken. And he went, Claire, I've played before. And then I thought about it for a nanosecond. I thought, of course he has. What am I on about? He was very gracious about it, but he's a very gracious man. What was I on? Anyway, yes. So, sorry, Ruben. Of course you made your debut ages ago. Yes, which is remarkable in itself. So, outstanding engagement with the referee. I saw one example from Mr. Dependable.
Oh, right, yes.
Yes, he put on his best schoolboy face on and looked at Dan Jones as if to say, sir, they're not allowed to do that. Didn't make a noise, just looked at him. And Mr. Jones looked back at him and then gave a penalty.
Excellent. That deserves definitely Sergeant Wilson Award, definitely.
Yeah. The photographic evidence is there, so Anna can check what the boy did, but he definitely did it.
Well done, Mr. Dependable. Talking of Mr. Dependable, Lenny Newman, find your own names. Or at least acknowledge where you've got the names from.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who didn't listen to the Saints show last week, Lenny called young Mr. Litchfield Mr. Dependable, and we know where that name came from. And it wasn't the Saints show.
No.
We love Lenny, really.
We do.
We're glad.
We do.
In some ways, we're glad we're providing post-match content. Anyway, post-match, talking of post-match, lots of celebration of the debutants. It was a bit crowded around the bin again. We didn't have a man of the match because it wasn't televised, but we did have the 4 debutants. And it was James Craig who did the talking. Well, he did some of the talking in the changing room because it was James Craig who was leading the match. And they had a discussion about what happened in the game, as you would expect. And then they sang the song with gusto. And I do love it that the younger players actually love the fact that they're even more part of the song, because they were always the academy at the back getting very excited. They were even in the changing room.
Yes.
And now they're leading the song. So yeah, that was lovely to see. And then Douse spoke to the team. I suddenly, when I was taking photographs of the Shoe Army song, I suddenly found I had a director of rugby at my feet, banging his shoe.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't prostrating himself at me. He was banging his shoe. But he wished all the everybody well for their break, because of course they get a week off. He wished the England A guys well, and I'm sure we'll talk about England A later on. Yeah, along with England. But yeah, it was good to see. The changing room isn't half quieter when you've got so many internationals and things going on. It makes a huge difference. You realise how many people they're cramming in there normally, but it was good to see. So they'll get a week off this week. There are 1 or 2 that will be coming in for medical reasons, as you would hope, and as part of their road to recovery. But most are getting a week off, and then it's back for the big game against Coventry the following week. So, but it was good.
Coventry. Talking of whom, they went to the poo corner and and beat the Tigers up.
Stuffed a tiger.
Beat the Tigers up. So they stuffed a tiger in their own lair. So well done, Coventry. I suspect we will not be putting out a side with an average age of 20 and a half when we go to Coventry. I think we'll have a bit more. We'll
have a bit more grunts, because it'll be 2 things, of course. As much for Coventry as it is for us, it'll be the build-up for them back into the Championship, and it'll be the build-up for us back into the Premiership, because we'll have Gloucester the following week.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see a few first teamers in there just to dust off the cobwebs, get back from whatever ailment they had, and get going.
Yes, as I say, possibly a few coming back from injury for that one as well. Do we think?
Yes. Well, we're all on 2 weeks. 2 weeks, Mrs. Saunders.
2 weeks. They'll all be there then. Robbie, Sam Graham.
Yeah, a whole lot. Miracle worker, Matt Lee and his team.
Tom Lockett. I recommend Tom Lockett must be there or thereabouts, I would have thought.
Well, Tom yesterday, and he showed me his
with
working
his special role.
Yes, his jottings. You're all right, Kerry. Nothing happened. He very excitedly said to me, "I was on the coach's bench, Claire," and I went, "Oh, look, you're radioed up." So we had the old radio and the earpiece, the old works. And he said, "I made notes and everything." And on his notepad, you had the first half notes and then the second half notes. So yeah. So he said, "I'm not going to make a habit of it. It's only the one off." I said, "Well, I don't mind it being, happening again. Just not quite yet. I don't think we're quite ready for you as a coach. We kind of need you out on the green stuff." But wow, well done, Tom. Yeah, lots of notes in his own handwriting and everything.
And again, though, the foresight of these coaches. Let's give him a taste of it. Let's see, where how he takes to it. Hats off to it. I mean, I was impressed when we were at training that Amaka was watching because he's still out injured, was watching and contributing and saying that, you know, we need to do this. And just that inclusion is
just sort
so
of
special.
On the sidelines, they're actually supporting the team.
Yeah.
No, it really is impressive to see. I did talk to Tom about his moustache because, of course, he's growing his moustache whilst he's injured, and his plan is when he gets back out on the green stuff, off it comes. But of course, we're in the middle of November at the minute, so I said, "This is a complication that you weren't expecting." And he said, "No, it'll go, and then I'll grow back." Oh, okay. So he's gonna go.
Whatevs. There you go.
When he plays, I don't know when it will be, but 2 weeks. Yes. So, shall we talk about England? Let's first talk about England A.
Well, I was just before we talk about England A, because it does kind of link in, but talk about supporting the squad. We heard some quite, I was going to say, upsetting news about one of my favourites, young Archie McParland, getting severe grief on anti-social media. We are not impressed. The lad is 19.
Leave Archie alone, you lot. If you haven't got anything nice to say,
so
don't say it.
Yeah. And if any of you know anybody who's got beef with Archie, send them to me to talk it over. That's all I say. Just leave the lad alone. He's got so much talent as a 19-year-old.
Yes.
Anyway,
absolutely. Now, so thank you. Yesterday, I met, I don't know the gentleman's name, but he came to see me and said, "I'm Archie's uncle." And I went, "Oh, hello," thinking, which Archie? We've got two. But anyway, but I thought it must be McParland. And he said, "Please, can I have a selfie?" So I had a selfie with Archie McParland's uncle. So it was lovely to meet you. I don't know where said selfie has gone. It's probably on some family WhatsApp, you know, having a go at the woman in the red ass. Anyway, Archie, those in the know, Archie is one of the 6 that have been summoned to play for England A at Twickenham Stoop next week.
Next Sunday,
Yeah. So, yes. So it's Australia A versus England A at Twickenham Stoop. And we've got 6. So Tom Pearson, Curtis. Oh, Curtis.
Bless him.
Manny Iogan.
Sent my congratulations.
Manny Iogan. Henry. Now, bear in mind, Henry and young Archie are still 19. Let's just remember that. And then
still qualify for the under-20s.
Exactly. And captain by our dingers,
Fraser,
who I congratulated and wished well in the changing room yesterday. That is fantastic, is all I can say. Well done,
brilliant.
Guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely
well deserved to all of them.
Yeah. And well done, Mark Mapletoft, for recognising the talent in the Saints squad. Now,
what a pity Steve Borthwick doesn't recognise the talent in the Saints squad.
Well, so first off, let's congratulate Ollie Slightholme for scoring 2 tries.
Well done, Ollie.
Well done, Ollie. In front of his mum and dad, Debbie and John were there, and well done. Top work. But I saw the first half.
Can I just let's go this from a Saints perspective? It was a damn successful day because you've got Ollie Slightholme scoring 2 tries, Andrew Kellaway scoring a try, and Max Jorgensen, son of Peter Jorgensen, who used to be a Saint, scoring a try. So from a Saints perspective, it was really good. We did our bit. Just a pity it was on the wrong side.
So I genuinely don't know where England are going.
No.
And the press seem to have forgotten that a certain F. Smith is in the blessed squad. You know,
I know.
When is Finn going to get some game time? Yeah. When is he going to get some game time? I mean,
ridiculous.
Big Trev.
Well, they'll throw him in.
Big Trev even doing that? I mean, it's just like
they'll throw them in against the box and then go, he's not up to it. I don't know what Borthwick's playing at.
It just doesn't make any sense. The game plan is confused. The defence is all over the show. This blitz defence, but neither one will betwixt and between all the time. Yeah. And they charge £200 a ticket. Wow.
Well, blimey. That I did say to the IT department. Well, it could have been worse. You could have paid £100, be up in the gods and watch that garbage. As it was, we didn't pay that. We watched some sublime rugby from both sides on Saturday. So I think, leave Twickenham alone. Just
anyway,
anyway,
big hugs to Finn and Big Trev, and big hugs to the lads who wore the. I seem to have lost my colleague.
Right. There's strange noises going on outside my window.
Oh, our IT department's got a bit carried away.
This sounds like.
We ought to mention the IT.
Well, I don't know. It sounds.
We ought to mention the IT department. Who had a very earnest conversation with me before the game.
Oh, we.
Yeah, I did relay this to you last night when we were having
okay.
So the IT department was trying to persuade that when we do the toss, the team should actually always pick, if they win the toss, they should think of the supporters and always pick that we go up the hill first. And I went, no. No. The team should think, what's the game plan, including the weather, and play what suits the game plan. I don't think, our feelings should really come into it. Yes. It's true.
No. Bless him. He does get very hung up about them playing down the hill in the second half for some unknown.
No, I'm sure. And that's why Paul Grayson had the flags put on top of the cinch stand.
Yes.
So you know which way the wind's blowing. Yes. Anyway.
I think they're a bit tattered now.
So,
but yeah. So, good luck to the boys with England A, and good luck to whoever Borthwick picks for the game against the Box. And just come home safe, boys. Just come home safe, back to where you're appreciated and loved.
Indeed. So we have had a bit of other rugby this weekend.
I've had a bit of other rugby. Battle of Bedfordshire.
Battle of Bedfordshire was won by Bedford Blues, although Mikey Ray didn't seem to be entirely happy with his charges. Dean, now in big news, big media news, Luckies were at the game.
Yeah.
I mean, James Burridge was there.
Well, it doesn't mean it'll ever get on Luckies, does it?
Well, they were there.
And I think they just send James Burridge.
Though I think that
just go, James, and just go, James. We won't use it, but it'll keep you quiet. Yeah.
Yes. So James Burridge was at Goldington Road to interview Dean Adamson, who is, of course, the Championship's leading try scorer. Scored the most tries whilst playing the Championship. Dino, bang on cue, scored on Friday, right in the corner. Thank you very much, Dino. Excellent. Although his try celebration was the wrong way round, so I couldn't actually photograph it. If you've got your back to me, doing this isn't going to get photographed. But congratulations anyway. But yes, so James was there. Who'd have thought? Right.
Were there any fights? That's what we want to know. Were there any fights?
Yeah, there was a few. There was a few.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was old school.
Got to be.
Yeah, and everyone fell out with everyone. Good. And the referee had to, but it was good crowd, nearly 4,000 at Goldington Road, which is excellent. And a 5-point win for Bedford. So well done them.
Well done, Bedford.
Again, lots of old Saints all over the pitch. It was yes. It was good to see, including the lad who was training with us in the summer. So yes, it was a bit of a reunion. Alfie Gardside had a fantastic game again. He is really enjoying his rugby for Bedford. But the man who won man of the match, because he was our George Smith. So congratulations, George. Ironically, ex of Coventry. George is enormous. For those of you who don't know him, he's 6'9".
He is huge.
He is huge, and he's the loveliest man. Really, really lovely man. And he decided, poor Tommy Heffernan was having a little problem with the trigger on Friday. He couldn't, his throwing and their jumping just wasn't working. So the Bedford line-out was suffering a bit. So George worked on the principle that if we can't win our own line-out, how about I win the opposition's? And he nicked 6 or 7 of their line-outs.
I like it.
Big Paw would go out, grab the ball. And off we went. Off we trundled. Excellent. So, well done, George. Outstanding performance, and rightly the player of the match. So well done, Bedford. You've won the Battle of Bedfordshire, and 5 points in the bag. So you're up and running.
Brilliant.
And that group seems to be quite an interesting group, because Bristol, who beat Bedford, got stuffed by Bath. So yes, and Bath. I think Bath are on their way to Goldington Road. I'm going to say the next game. Anyway. Yeah. So that'll be... Bath are on a roll at the minute, so that'll be an interesting... But they've never been on that slope.
Could be.
Yeah, they've never been on that slope. Loughborough were at Sandy Park this afternoon.
Well, if they've never been on that slope...
They've never been on that slope. Yeah, so, ladies and gentlemen, you might notice we've got a slight time delay issue today. The wet piece of string that goes to...
Oh, it's gone back again, hasn't it? I think, could we have a slight pause here while we go out and come back in again? Because I think we've got to go silly again now.
Because it's made recording difficult.
I'm fine.
Right, here we go. So Liz has stamped on the Coke can and attacked the bit of string, and hopefully we can get going again. We were just saying, well done to Bedford, up and running. Meanwhile, Loughborough in the PWR, difficult trip to Sandy Park, unbeaten Exeter Chiefs. The PWR is
stayed unbeaten.
Yeah, it's a tough old place to go, but well done, team, for battling it out. And big shout out to Beau Westcombe Evans, who we learn her injury that she suffered at Harlequins is season ending. So Beau, get better soon. We'll see you on the Franklin's Gardens pitch as soon as possible. So big love to Beau.
You want to come and have a chat with us on the pod? Well, more than welcome to fill in time. Come have a chat with us on the pod.
Come and have a chat. Yeah, we can talk lemon drizzle, rugby, you name it. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
But so and congratulations to Nathan.
Oh, Sarah Hunter
and Sarah on the arrival of their little one. Aww, very sweet, very sweet. So Sarah's literally got her hands full now. Yes, I'm sure Nathan's helping. Okay. Now, big news. We have an interview from Harry.
We do. Yeah. Very, very happy with his training session. Loving it. But Alfie's gone camera shy again.
So how did Alfie get on? How did he do?
He did. He had a good session. He scored three tries and got 3 tags, but he just didn't feel.
She's got the verb wrong.
Didn't feel like talking to the press.
Done 3.
He did 3 tries. Yeah, she did say Alfie did 3 tries and got 3 tags, but has declined to speak to the press today. Just not feeling it today.
International Man of Mystery returns to his former self. Well done, Anyway, let's listen to Harry talk about what he got up to today.
Yes.
We've had a really good session today, and I scored a try and did 3 tackles, and it's been a good session all round. And there was really hard bits, like when you had to step over someone and then someone straight away tackles you. It's really hard, but once you do it a few times, you get used to it.
And well done, Harry. Wow, he knows how to talk to the press, doesn't he? Or at least the Ladies Wot.
Oh, he does. He does.
Or
So very
like
excited about it all.
Depending on your point of view.
Brilliant.
Excellent. So, walking rugby. How did you get on, Mrs.?
Walking rugby. Well, we've got there was 10 there on Thursday night. I mean, I'm going to see the physio on Tuesday, so I'm hoping he may be able to sort of patch me up, give me some exercises to do so I can get back. And we have a return fixture with Brackley coming up at some point as well. So
very good.
I can't remember when that is. He did send a date, but so yeah, all very enjoyable.
I forgot IT department. My IT department played walking rugby at Histon this morning and had a great time. But I forgot his new job.
Oh, yes.
He got a special role at Bedford.
Oh, yes. Yes, did he get it all to work?
Yeah. He didn't walk around the pitch. Matt Litchfield thought that was what they were asking him to do as well. No, he had to push the buttons and do the clock. Had a whale of a time. He was very pleased with himself at the end of the game. So well done, Dr. T, Sherpa 1. As, you know, the Sherpas were sat next to each other. Thick as thieves they were, you know, chatting away.
Yeah.
But yes.
Hell of a responsibility that was.
Well, exactly. Particularly it's the Battle of Bedfordshire. So well done to the walking rugbyites. It's good to see. Are they still looking for more to join? The more the merrier?
Oh, yes. But the more the merrier. We've had some new people join, but, you know, come along. It's very... We all went for a curry afterwards on Thursday as well. It's quite sociable. Everybody's very friendly. So, yeah, pop along. 6 o'clock in the bar. High Performance Centre. Sorry, not the barn. High Performance Centre.
And the Saints Supporters Club. Well, obviously, you had your big role at the start of the game.
My big role.
Yeah.
And we have announced. So we've got players on the coaches going to Saracens on the coach. Don't know who they will be, depending who's available. So booking is available on the Supporters Club website. Go along there, book your seat to go to Sarries on the coach with some players who then it was a right laugh when we took them down to Twickenham for the Harlequins game. So I don't know who it will be, but there'll be somebody and it will be good fun. I don't know if I'm going yet, but it depends. It depends because that's the 23rd of December. So it all depends on family demands as to whether or not we'll be going. Hope to go. So, and just watch this space because there will be more exciting news coming soon on the Supporters Club.
So excellent stuff. So it's a week off for everybody.
I think I think we just need to mention. We haven't mentioned Scotland with our favourite, one of our favourite,
and yes, Scotland, and of course Tamer was playing for Fiji.
He was, and Sam Matavesi, ex of this parish, playing for Fiji. Historical win over Wales. So well done, Fiji. And Scotland lost to the Box. Yeah,
the Box.
There you go. Quite a lot in the end, I think it was. I'm just trying to see where it... Oh, for God's sake. Just trying to see what it was. It was it 19? Scotland losing 10. Scotland losing 10 scrap with dogged Springboks is what the BBC say. So it was probably nothing like that. Where's the actual... Actuals. 15-32 was the actual score. So
right.
Yeah. So Southern Hemisphere are winning hands down at the moment, which is not good.
No,
not good.
So Ted Hill and Tom Roebuck have been called into the England side because it looks like, of course, Tom Curry suffered a concussion, and if Tom Roebuck's gone, who? Oh, Emmanuel Faye-Waboso.
Oh, yes.
With his concussion. Or his head bang, or whatever.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, so it's a week off, rest week. The Ladies Wot we are going to have an event. We're going to have a pod one way or another. We've got a little bit of work to do to get the pod in place, but we'll be back next week with a pod. We are taking we're both heading up north to different places, visiting friends.
We are, yes.
But we will be back next week with a pod. And then the next game that Saints play is Coventry away in the next round of the Premiership Rugby Cup. So lots to play for. It's great that we're seeing so many of the youngsters. And and it's great we're getting good crowds.
Brilliant.
It wasn't quite the ridiculous crowd that we had the previous week, which was amazing, but it was still a very good crowd.
It was a very, very good crowd.
Cup game. So well done everybody who came yesterday.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Saunders, we battled through.
So that's it.
Your wet piece of string didn't defeat us.
It's always my fault. Always my fault. Anyway, yes, the wet piece of string held up. Episode 47, all done and in the can. And thank you, everybody. If you could just remember, peeps, subscribe, do stuff, share. Everything.
Thank you to everybody who's sending comments. It's great. We love them. It really helps the pod. Glad people are discovering us. So share with your mates. Well done, Leslie, for saying that we'd on the match day thread on the Saints site. She said that we'd be giving a review of the game. We have. So hopefully everyone's enjoyed it. And see you soon. So see you soon, Mrs. Saunders.
Bye. Yes, see you soon. Bye.
Bye.